Hello everyone, my name is Ioana Piroska. I am part of the Visma's application security team, and today I will be speaking about working with hackers through bug bounty programs. I will also try to give you some tips for running a successful bug bounty program based on our 2 years journey in Visma. So by the end of this presentation, hopefully you will learn more about hackers and how they can help you secure your assets. Let me start with a few things about me. I joined Visma security team as a security analyst and part of the product security team, but I was a former application support engineer and network security engineer, so I didn't have experience in working with hackers at all. And I want to share a funny story with you. My managers don't know it, so you guys, it's time for you to find this out. When I started my job at Visma, the first thing that hit me and maybe made me really scared was the fact that I realized that not only that I will be directly working with these guys, but I am also part of a team full of hackers. That was freaking me out for some days, I have to admit. Of course, it started to become better and better when I started to do practical things like solving reports and working on incidents and so on. And it started to become extremely fun when I had my hands on the bug bounty program and when I realized how many types of vulnerabilities they submit to us and how important it is for the company to find out about these bugs. And it's funny because I find the same type of fear and uncertainty with the new teams that I am onboarding in the bug bounty program. Once you are part of the bug bounty program, you never know what you will get. So they are actually sometimes scared because they don't know what types of bugs they will get. But after they start coming, they realize that they have to solve them fast. And after that, the fun part comes. We always tell our teams to celebrate their bugs because they were found in time and to share their experience because everybody has something to learn from the mistakes. I also managed to gain a nickname that is Mother of Hackers. My colleagues like to call me like this. And the reason for this is that I am the one who's serving the meals for the hackers by adding new assets always in our bug bounty scope. In my personal life, I'm the mother of 2 boys, and I'm trying to combine, of course, the family life with work and my passion for security. Some things about our company. Visma is a very large organization, and as you can see, we have very many products and services in different countries and markets. We have all kinds of technologies, and we are growing rapidly. Speaking about year 2020, we will have around about 40 new acquisitions this year. So the security of our products has always been a high priority. That is why we developed inside Visma a security program called Visma Application Security Program, or VASP, which enables the development teams to deliver secure products and services. As a part of the security program, we have training and awareness campaigns. We do also code scanning of the source code and of the compiled code, but also testing the third-party components in the finished products. We also do internal pen testing. We do log management, cyber threat intelligence, incident response, and last but not least, responsible disclosure program, which is running for some years already, and bug bounty programs that I will be speaking about today. So basically, we help the teams succeed by offering them our services and solutions and by offering them support and counseling with the scope of improving their security posture. But before I get into explaining more details about bug bounty programs, I was thinking that for the ones that are not part of the security field, would be interesting to learn about some basic concepts in regards of hacking and hackers. So what hacking is? It refers to the activities that seek to compromise the digital devices or even entire networks in order to gain unauthorized access over the system resources. In order to better understand hacking, we have to understand the hackers. It is very often harder to break a system than to actually build it. So that is why hackers are intelligent individuals with excellent computer skills, and they are often specialized in certain types of vulnerabilities. The motive behind hacking can be to steal business critical information for different reasons: for money, for intellectual challenge, for curiosity, power, and so on. And you will see that despite the popular belief, not all the hackers are bad. So according to their activities, they fall into three main categories. The first one is represented by the white hats. These are the ethical hackers or the security researchers that always want to improve the information security. They don't want to do harm. They do have explicit permission from the owner to perform their hacks. And I always like to say that these are the guys that we are working with. The second category is represented by the gray hats. They are in between, so they may violate the ethical standards or principles, but they do not have malicious intent. Often it happens that they are juniors or also called script kiddies, and that means that they are using the tools and scripts developed by others in order to perform their hacks. And the third category, and the most dangerous ones, are the black hats. These are the cyber criminals, and actually, the black hats are the ones which are associated with the hackers in general. They have malicious intent. They are also creating their own malwares, and very often they are part of criminal organizations. They can either be sponsored by different states to steal information from other governments. They can be hacktivists and use their skills to promote a political or a social agenda, or they can be suicide hackers that are willing to perform an attack for a cause, and they don't care if they get caught or prosecuted. As you could probably notice, all of them have the main motive behind hacking represented by the money. And an easy way to distinguish between the good ones and the bad ones is that always the good ones will tell you what they have found. One way of using the good guys is to have a bug bounty program. So let's see what a bug bounty program is. First, I think we should all accept that hackers are surrounding us all over. They are often looking into our stuff, even if we like this or not, because we are all on the internet, and sooner or later we can be a target. So why not giving them the possibility to report vulnerabilities in an ethical way, pay them, and minimize the risks of an actual breach? That is what a bug bounty program is, a great and a proven way of securing companies' assets with the help of ethical hackers. And yes, all the big corporations are doing it. You give them permission, legal permissions to hack. They have to respect the policies and the rules of engagement. And once you start the bug bounty program, your assets will be continuously tested. Comparing this to the internal or external pen tests that are usually done by the companies, these may be done maybe once or twice a year, but they are not done continuously. Also, another important thing to mention is the power of the crowd. In the bug bounty program, you invite hackers from all over the world, so there will be more eyes of expertise. Of course, that leads to more findings and a better security. Some of the most known platforms used for bug bounty programs are HackerOne, which is our partner in this journey, then Integrity, Open Bug Bounty, Yes We Hack, Bugcrowd, and much more. And some of the tools most used by the hackers, I would mention here Burp Suite, Nmap, FAF, Nuclei, Axiom, and others. And let's see how the bug bounty journey started for us in Visma. It all happened in 2016 in Finland when we decided that we want to have a private program, and we invited 4 teams, and so we had 4 assets added into our scope, and we could immediately see the value of the program. That is why we decided that in 2019 we want to have a corporate bug bounty program. The same, it was a private program. We started to add step by step the teams, and right now we are having 30 teams added in the scope and around about 40 assets. When I say asset, I mean domain URL corresponding for the web application that is part of the program. After 1 year with the private bug bounty, we decided that it's time to go public. We were enough comfortable to do this, and we started in January 2020 with 5 teams and 17 assets added in scope. Our approach is to move the teams from the private program to the public one when we consider that they are enough mature. We pay between $100 and $3,000 based on the severity, but we always take into consideration when we establish the severity, we take into consideration also the impact. And right now we have more than 200K paid in the bug bounty programs. And you are hearing me speaking about private and public bug bounties. Let's see which are the main differences between these 2 types of programs. Usually the companies decide to start with a private program and then extend it to a public one. In a private program, the companies are inviting the hackers, which will be part of it. So it's a private program, it's an invite-only program. That leads to the fact that the quality of the reports is very good. Also, the disclosure will be visible only inside the private program. In comparison, in a public program, we speak about hundreds of thousands of hackers. So basically, everybody that has an account on the bug bounty platform is able to submit vulnerabilities in a public program. The disclosure will be, in this case, publicly available. An interesting observation in our case is that the average of valid reports per service, so not per asset, but per service, is very similar. That means that in our case, both programs are valuable. Yes, we do have requirements for the teams that will be part of our bug bounty program. First one, and maybe the most important one, is to have 0 known vulnerabilities. Here I am referring to the fact that they have to perform all the internal tests before joining the bug bounty program, but they also have to solve all the bugs that are reported through the internal tools. So once they will be part of the bug bounty program, we request 0 known vulnerabilities because we don't want to pay for the things that we already know about. They also have to prepare the environment. Usually the staging environment is preferred for safety reasons. They also have to prepare the test accounts, test data, and some instructions for the hackers to better understand the application. They also have to commit to validate the bugs in 2-4 business days, to fix them in 90 days, and in case we speak about critical bugs, then we request resolving time 5 business days. All these times are mentioned in our policy, and we want to respect the policy ourselves, and in this way we want to keep our engagement with the hackers. But the security team has responsibilities too. We are responsible for the overall program management, making sure that we have a smooth onboarding process, that we follow up for validating and for solving the bugs together with the responsible teams. We also do the initial assessment and validation of the findings, and we pay the bounties for the hackers. So security team actually acts like a bridge between the service delivery teams and the hackers. We are communicating on one hand with our internal teams and on the other hand with the hackers. We just want our internal teams to be responsible for validating and for fixing the bugs, and we take care about the rest. These are some program metrics from our private program. So as you can see, we try to be fast by averaging 2 days for triage and by paying immediately after triage. We do this because we don't want to wait maybe 1 month or more until the bugs are being solved by the service delivery teams. We want to pay immediately after triage because in this way the hackers will prefer our program. Also, the resolution time tells about how seriously our team take the bug bounty program into consideration. Instead of resolving the bugs in 3 months, like according to the policy, as you can see, the average resolution time is 1 month. The average bounty per asset is around about $350. And until now, we got more than 1,200 submissions. That means reports. All these response times put us in a very good position on HackerOne with attractive programs for the hackers. Most common bugs that we get, as you can see, are improper access control issues, mainly IDORs. Important to mention that these are vulnerabilities that cannot be found with automated tools for scanning. You really need to understand the application flow developed by the software developers. So the human factor is very much involved in this case. IDOR comes from insecure direct object reference, and it's a type of access control issue which occurs when a developer exposes a reference to an object but without having an access control check in place. And that leads to the fact that the attacker can manipulate these references and get unauthorized access to the data. We also get cross-site script teams, cross-site request forgeries, business logic errors, and many more other types of vulnerabilities. But the most common ones are the access control issues. I also want to show you two of our highlight reports. These are two examples of critical bugs. And I chose them because I consider them interesting and relevant. Usually the high-end critical bugs are rare, but if they are not found, then they could have huge consequences. So that is why it is important to find about them and to solve them fast. So the first example is an HTTP request smuggling vulnerability. Actually, it was maybe the best report received so far, a collaboration between two of our best hackers in the private program. They were able to demonstrate that an anonymous attacker can fully control all the HTTP requests and partially also the HTTP responses through this type of vulnerability. And the result was comparable to a man-in-the-middle attack. So the researchers were able to see and take control of the requests and responses belonging to other users. Really critical report that we decided to pay accordingly. Second one is a combined exploit for the Telerik UI for ASP.NET Ajax due to two known CVEs. And this led to an arbitrary file upload and RCE. Actually, the hacker was not able to prove the RCE, but one of our colleagues, and here is the nice part, because also us in the triaging team, we are participating in this together with the hackers. One of my colleagues was able to find not one, but two ways of expanding this to RCE. So we decided that our assessment for this one is critical as well, and the hacker got $3,000 in this case. So to summarize our experience, I've identified 3 success factors for having an attractive bug bounty program. First one is to try to be fast. As you have seen in the previous slide with our metrics, aiming to have good response times means to attract the best hackers in the world. We try to pay immediately after triage so that we make them prefer our program. But we are also trying to resolve the bugs fast, because only after they are resolved, you are able to disclose them. And by disclosing them, you give the rest of the hackers ideas to test the same type of vulnerability for the rest of the assets that are part of your scope, or maybe that will be added in the future in your scope. Second success factor is to maintain the hacker's engagement. We are doing this by being fair and always explaining our decisions. It happens often that we get feedback from them directly in the reports, and it's very rewarding to see that they are happy with what you are doing. We also try to be consistent. That is something also very important. Act in the same way in the same situation. And we are also trying to support them via Twitter and Slack. And the third success factor is transparency. How we do it? We do it with the service delivery teams by having the bug bounty project publicly available in Jira for all the internal employees. So anybody that works at Visma is having access to the bug bounty project, and they are able to see what reports we got so that they can learn from it. We also do internal sharing sessions with the employees, where the teams that are part of the bug bounty program are presenting the most interesting findings that they got. We are also transparent with the hackers and try to disclose most of the vulnerabilities that we get. Of course, it's not always possible to disclose everything, but we do our best to disclose most of them, so that we give them ideas. And we are also trying to be transparent with the customers by speaking about our findings, by admitting that yes, we do get reports, but we are able to solve them fast. And in this way, we assure that our products are safe and the customers trust our ability to deliver this in a consistent way. So after 2 years with running the bug bounty programs in Visma, my takeaways are that you guys, in case you have a security program or you do your security checks, but you don't have yet a bug bounty program in place, feel free to add the Hacker Power Security as an additional layer to your security checks. This will help you secure your assets in a fast and controlled way, and all the big corporations are doing it. You will find US Department of Defense, Google, Facebook, Apple, and many other companies having bug bounty programs. Just allocate the budget for it and go further. There's no doubt in the value that it will bring to your security approach. It is very often that a bug bounty program is a group effort and a teamwork. At least this is how it is in our case. You need the management support to make the magic happen. You need a good triaging team that will assure that good response times are in place, and in this way you are able to maintain the hacker's engagement. And you also need the engagement from the service delivery teams, because they will need to solve the bugs fast in order to maintain the quality. Sharing the knowledge with others and disclosing the findings, it's also very important, because all of us will have to learn from it, from hackers to developers to customers and to all the people that are interested in security. And I would like to end the presentation with this picture representing the HackerOne community. In my opinion, hacking has become a profession like all the others, and we should use these guys for making the world better and the internet safer. In case you are running or will run a bug bounty program, keep in mind that hackers are humans and should be treated as the valuable asset as they are. Because if they like a program, they will keep coming back to it. In case you want to get in touch with me, feel free to grab me an email. Or in case you are a hacker and want to stay up to date with our bug bounty program updates, make sure you follow the Mother of Hackers on Twitter. I hope this was useful, and thank you very much for listening.